morning, my friends. It's your old pal Jordan the Lion. How are you guys doing? I'm readjusting back to Los Angeles. It's sinking in that I have got to pay a lot of money to get my car working again, but I'm trying to keep a smile on my face. I'm trying to make the best of it. And today I have a date. We're gonna take you along, and this is actually a vlog that came about while I was in the air flying. I was looking through some things on my phone. It got me thinking a little out of the ordinary. See, what I want to do today is I want to go to the Madame Tussaud Wax Museum here in Hollywood. However, most of the videos that you see with that in the title on YouTube is actually like a tour through there. I've been there before for a work engagement, and it just wasn't for me. It was all kind of newer, modern celebrities. There were a few older ones, but for the most part, it was a lot of older ones. So I'm going to post a picture of me with Clark Gable in there. And I'm going to go and actually tell you the history of Madame Tussaud, Marie Tussaud. How she got her start, how this business that name is synonymous with flourished, and why they're the best in the business. Daze with Jordan the Lion begins now. And there's everybody's favorite Ed McMahon, the co-host to beat out all co-hosts, the Joster. Hey Jaw, do you want to say hi to your friends on YouTube? Why don't you give them a little wag of that tail? No? Alright, well, you and I need to go for a walk here pretty soon anyway. What do you say, Jaw? You want to go for a walk? Let's do it. Well, sorry guys, we walked outside and he threw himself down on a patch and he refuses to walk, so I guess this is... he just wanted a change of venue. The thinker right there. And he knows we're talking about him. Look, that's why he's looking out of the corner of his eyes. He's tuckered out today. I don't know what his deal is. Not real exciting for you today, is it, Jaw? So I actually think we're gonna end up at City Walk today because I have had a gift certificate for my birthday dinner at Buca di Beppo that I have not used, and my birthday was at the end of July. Remember, I was in Sweden during that time, so I think we're gonna go use that today. I've been dying to have it, and I haven't had Italian food in a while, so I think we're gonna have that and roam around. This guy, camera hog. And then roam around Universal City, maybe get a voodoo donut, have some fun. This guy. I think they're starting a fortress right here. Kind of weird walking around not seeing any statues anywhere. You don't want a treat, do you? You're treated out, dude. You've had plenty. Well, we've decided to have some Thai food. We're getting the Thai tea, chicken pad Thai, and pineapple fried rice. Well, we are killing our food here. This is like... I got the Thai tea and she wasn't as big a fan, but I've been trying to talk her into it. Every few bites taking a little sip, and she seems to like it more that way, huh? How do you like being headless? My date and I are gonna go do the vlog, and then we're gonna go hit Universal City and hit Buca di Beppo. So what we're gonna vlog today, as I told you guys, is the history of Marie Tussaud, Madame Tussaud. Wow, it looks very futuristic in this stop. It does. Not quite what Marie Tussaud would have imagined for herself, I'm sure. Now it's a name that lights up the tourist district of Hollywood Boulevard, but it actually started as a woman who was supposed to be her town executioner. She was born in Strasbourg, though she lied in her autobiography and said that she was born in Bern. Marie was the daughter of an executioner, and the way it worked in her town was, or her village, was that if you were the child of an executioner, you became the executioner. However, her father died while she was in the womb, and because of this, Marie's mother actually went and worked for a distant relative in France, and he was actually a man who had started out as a model for wax models, but then became the foremost name in doing wax models. His name was Philippe Curtis. And Philippe started letting her explore with some of his wax models and wax modeling, and kind of showed her how he did it, and noticed that she had a real talent for it, and she became his protege. What's interesting about the wax model movement was that back then they used this as a form of almost media. When something was changing in France, the way it often did when new rulers were coming in and leaving, she would have displayed in her exhibits who is in power and who is leaving power. Now, even in the earliest of days, what was sometimes called the Cavern of Thieves or the Chamber of Horrors, the torturous visions of wax museums were the most popular. Now, she actually had learned in Paris and had started working for Curtis from the time that she had basically made her first head cast of Voltaire 2 months before his death. Now, what's pretty interesting is that, like I said, they would kind of advertise what was going on in the media or what was going on in the world based on what was in her exhibits, and there would be times where people would come pounding on the doors in a riot with pitchforks wanting the heads of the monarchs that she had displayed, or accusing them of being a loyalist. So it became a situation of her being notified in some cases who the future government was going to be, so that they could prepare to help win over the people. And even oddly, when Louis XVI was beheaded, they actually brought his head to her, and she had to sit with the head in her lap and make the wax modeling. Now, what's also pretty interesting is that she had actually been taken advantage of quite a bit in her life as far as being a businesswoman. All these men would come through and they would see her wax models after Curtis died and left her everything. He left her his entire estate, as well as the address in France that he would always show the exhibits in. These people would take her in, talk her into either going to Edinburgh or going to Ireland and setting up these kind of temporary exhibits. And I say temporary because she would advertise them as temporary, meaning as long as she was making money, she would be there. And once she quit making money, then it was time to leave. Now, what she was pretty smart in is that she actually advertised. She was good at getting people in the door, and she was actually pretty smart at, she would appeal to the richest people in town. She would actually make the price pretty pricey, but then what she would do is she would do a posting saying that the working class rate of half price was available, but it was only available for the last 45 minutes of the entire day before the wax museum exhibits would close. Now, where she actually ended up really starting to make her money was that when Napoleon was dethroned and sent to exile, she actually used a lot of her exhibit to feature Napoleon, and then used some of her profits from that to buy Napoleon's actual chariot. So this became a rather sought after exhibit to see. And then throughout her life, her sons would come and join her, and they would actually join the business. And so you will see other Toussaint wax museums all over the country, or all over the world, in fact, based off of her lineage. Now, when she eventually died, she left it all to her sons, and there's only one actual wax bust that still exists, and it's actually on display in France at a museum, and it was one that she did of her mentor, Philippe Curtis. And it's pretty interesting to see it because you can see even then that she had mastered this shading of creating the lifelike wax, making it look like skin, and she actually used real clothing for this wax figure. And it now still stands, her main space, or the most notable one of Madame Tussauds, is actually on Baker Street in London, which is where Sherlock Holmes was based and where she spent the rest of her life. But now pretty much any major city that you go into in the United States has, if not a Madame Tussauds, they have another wax museum, and it all really goes back to her and a woman that should have been her town executioner. Marie actually differed from like the other people that were doing wax museums in her day, was that as opposed to just doing more celebrities and people that were popular in the day, she would do sort of more of the political figures, or more of the scandalous figures, people that were accused of murders or heinous crimes, and that actually became something that she realized was one of the most, or one of the biggest draws to ever having her wax museums. There you go. The history of Marie Madame Tussaud. Now, like I said, I've actually been in this one, but they really kind of feature more of the mainstream popular people now, so I'm not quite as interested in it, but I'll show you the one figure they have out here for free for everyone, which is one of their Marilyn Monroes. All right. Not very friendly. And now this is almost what the future of wax modeling and has turned into on Hollywood Boulevard. Isn't that something? I totally am a fan of Anonymous. For the little kid Kiss fan in your life. I cannot say I've been in Forever 21 many times, but seeing Beavis and Butthead in there makes me feel like I'm missing out on something maybe. Well, my date's decided she's gonna get this. Well, we are at Universal Studios and we are coming to the Buca di Beppo, and gosh knows what else, but they put this over here now. You can tell we're over top of all these cars. You used to just be able to literally just walk right across the street, but now they built this big overpass for guys like me that hate heights, and oh well. After doing St. Stephen's and Fisherman's Bastion and all this stuff, this is nothing. Is a live shrimp with a top hat.
Oh, right here?
Doing selfies.
Oh,
we just walked into like some sort of dance group breakout. I don't know what's going on. Oh man, I really want to get one of these on our way out. Is right next to Buca's the Voodoo Donut that they just opened up over here. Always a line, but it's good. All right, one of my all-time favorite restaurants. The Buca di Beppo. I'll take any statues I can get right now. We're going to the ET parking while we have 45 minutes to wait for our table. So check out how they designed this, like this entrance to this ET parking. It's pretty cool actually. These are all like kind of LED lights. It's not painted on or anything. I'll show you. Check out how close it gets. Well, we finally finally made it in. We've been waiting for 20 minutes out there because we have a 35-minute wait over at the restaurant, so we've been waiting over here the whole time. The magic is in the hole. It's in the hole! Oh, there it is.
Oh, you paid already?
Well, they seated us like on the 3rd floor, which is awesome. I've never been up here, so.
Attention, please. Today's a special day. It is John Carlo's birthday. Can we please give him a huge round of applause? We have a very, very special song, but I need everybody's help. Please follow us and clap along like this.
Well, here's the first part of our meal. We're getting chicken carbonara and baked ziti, so we're waiting on the baked ziti now. And now we got it all. That looks so good. Ah. Well, our meal is done, and that's about how I feel right now. But it was good. I feel like Big Joe. Well, our food was great and we are out of here. Well, it's been a great day. I finally got to use that gift card and just want to call it a night. Thank you Shelly Boone, Susan Jones, Michael Fox, and Janice Taylor all for making donations to my channel. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great night. Goodbye.